scary.
Speaking of scary, mid lane got very scary for a moment. Brawl had to bit more regen, not safe in the lane. At the very least, does have access to some raindrops, so he won't die to the full raise combo, but just needs to be careful. Fortunately for Brawl, he's also going to be careful because just to his left there's an observer ward scouting out this movement from the Earthshaker, so he knows Saksa is nearby trying to go for this gank attempt, and he's not going to fall for it. Going to play safe, come and get a water rune, even calls for reinforcements to do so safely. This is what we like to see here, Fluke. Make sure that you bring in your friends when you need help.
Oh, if Dubu was able to yoink that that water room, this could have been a massive swing lane. But usually we see these rotations from both the supports. You know, you've got a hero like the Pudge, you've got a hero like the Masih. They're going to be relatively okay with just kind of staying in the lane. And pressure once again here on Skidder. Got the bushwhack. He's dead.
Well, he's dead. No. Didn't we literally say a minute ago that if Snaking ever leaves him, he's going to die?
Yeah. Snaking left him and he died.
All right. All right, Fluke, I need some lotto numbers, quick.
17, 29, 42, and 15. I don't know.
All right, thank you so much. Saberlight going back in. They actually have another access to a dispose. Ooh, weird interaction. This time around, it's not that the dispose breaks the bushwhack, it's just that they miss it because of the weird angles. But it ends up not mattering. They have enough damage between these two heroes to just walk Snaking down and they get that kill. That is a pretty big deal. This bottom lane is just going phenomenally for the side of TSM FTX.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of work, and they're just constantly putting the pressure on as well. And that's why I like watching. Saberlight has been one of my favorite players to be able to watch. He's permanently one of these players that is constantly looking for an angle for him to get an advantage. Whether it be in playing his Enigma, his Mars, any of these kind of heroes, he's always trying to push the ball and trying to get some of these carry players out of their comfort zone so he can have the advantage. Play this Masih to perfection right now. These guys are doing a whole lot of work here, and they can make early rotations towards the mid lane and speaking of fun little party.
Bye. This time around, they didn't have the access to the observer ward anymore, and Saksa came in, blocks off the full ramp. It's surprisingly difficult these days to get those full blocks. They don't happen as often as they used to, but he achieves it this time around. I love how they actually set up for the play. Nine threw out the arrow cavalierly to make it seem like he didn't have access to that disable, so that the SF would feel a bit safer walking forward. But little did SF know that there were some allies emerging from behind. They're going to try and find some quick revenge onto Saksa here. But bushwhacked. They definitely have the damage through the Shadow Word. They were hoping for Brawl to get the kill, but you get it on Moon Meander than nobody gets it at all. And this Hoodwink, that's 4 kills already. Dominating streak for a Hoodwink pre-8 minutes. Must feel pretty nice being Moon Meander right now.
Yeah, Moon's definitely living the Pos 4 dream right now. Pretty good about himself, 4-0. I feel like TSM are just feeling good about how this game is going so far. Same kind of feeling for Tundra though. They're not all too sad about how these lanes have gone. You know, their Luna's in a pretty good spot. 33's gone relatively okay. I guess they've had a few hiccups with, you know, Snaking going down a little bit earlier on and then them just losing Saksa there. But I feel like both these two teams are relatively okay with how this game has been going. I think the big thing for me is looking towards Tomato about when he starts hitting this critical mass, because Pudge is one of those heroes that really can just kind of take over a game. Vanguard should be rolling out to him right now. Yeah, now that he's got the Vanguard, moving in towards a lot more of these armor items. And then once he starts getting ags, like, I'm not quite sure how they're supposed to actually deal with him.
They'll try and bring him down right now with some various soul assumptions and the Visage summons. And it's going to be good enough to be able to do so. What a fortuitous time to have level 6 for the Visage. Dubu about to die as well. Couple more hits. In the meantime, down bottom, they jump onto Skeeter behind the tier 1 tower. They are able to clean up this Luna. So core for core, traded all across the map right now. I love how TSM and Tundra are both so aware of the map. The moment that TSM clock the fact that Skeeter should be alone down bottom because they are supports helping to kill Pudge, they're like, all right, jump him, let's go. Immediately. And the moment that Tundra realized, wait a second, these two heroes can't respond anymore. All right, let's keep going ourselves.
Yeah, this...
Dota, what a game.
Yeah, they're definitely
now, though.
Playing well. Playing over this 8-minute rune. He actually got the DD rune, so it sucks that that's actually big being able to deny that DD rune. I would have laughed if the 8-minute rune spawned bottom. That would have been the funniest thing to me ever, Stereos, if they were all fighting over this top rune like it was going to be, you know, the TI winning play, and it just spawns bottom and Sucks, it just dies to nothing. That would have been hilariously tragic.
That's one of those wonderful 50-50 moments, right? So you're saying to yourself, right, if I get this rune and it's like a DD, then I died and it's 100% worth. If it's like a regen, I'm just hating life right now.
Yep.
But if it's nothing, then I just want to quit. Fortunately, he doesn't have to quit. He can keep playing for us. And he can keep showing us his worth in this game, because it looks like they're trying to set up for a kill on the top side of the map. They're inviting the 9 Mirana to make a rotation. She has been scouted out though. There is vision tracking her every move. So TSM will not get caught out by this. Timado already vacating the top lane. They're just leaving Dubu nearby to pick up some experience. And ooh, hook coming in from Timado. Leap charge will also be stopped with the dismember. Can they get this kill though? 9 very low on HP, but unfortunately nobody else nearby. Yo, that was very, very close to being a kill. If that is level 2 hook, if that is level 2 dismember, if the 9 Mirana is 1 level less, or worse yet, doesn't have access to the power trades or the 1, that's a kill. But these 5 margins this time around do end up benefiting Tundra, because while Tomato is unable to kill her, the rest of his team is able to bring down the tier 1 tower.
And this is the big power move coming in from Tundra, right? And this is the reason why a lot of these teams are really starting to lean towards Luna. It hits night time, and you've got this extra, you know, bonus 20 damage. So all of your heroes are just that little bit stronger on the map, especially a hero like Visage, where you have that little bit of extra bonus damage for you and the familiars that just allows you to take these towers so much faster. And I think we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of this Luna hero, a whole lot more of this Visage hero being able to be in combination, because you just have this big window where you just have what, an extra almost 100 damage across your team in comparison to what TSM do, and play into that. You kind of have to outplay them so much more and have to get so much more of an advantage out of the map, and this Luna hero is really starting to come up in priority. And I like that Tundra, not only did they press that advantage, but TSM also respected it as well. They weren't going too gung-ho into it. They understand they still need a few more of these items. If they lose out on some of these towers early on, it's perfectly okay, as long as Braal's the one that's still getting a lot of this farm up, because Tomato's actually going for an early Crimson Guard. So I don't hate this coming in from Tomato. The Crimson Guard is one of those items that really kind of stuffs up what the Visage tries to do, but still needs to be something where he gets a bit more damage later on.
If I know
You have damage. Moon Meander unleashes some of it onto Snaking. Saberlight shows up with the reband just to be like, I helped, I was there too. But that was mostly a Moon Meander kill. They're going to be able to clean up the tier 1 tower off the top of this. Once they get those Crimson, it'll be great against the Visage, and for a time, it'll feel decent against the Luna. But speaking of Luna, Skeeter, you are in massive danger, my friend. You need to run, and you need to run immediately. They are trying to track him down. Does he have a TP out? Indeed he does. Saberlight not going to be able to close the gap in time. And Moon Meander gets wrong with the bushwhack. They almost got him, but they didn't manage to do so. I don't know if they had a smoke actually to try and increase their MS to come down faster. But nonetheless, they're probably still just happy being able to consolidate control of this side of the map, keep pushing in these waves, start controlling the dire jungle, and keep Brawl at the very high up on this network. But he's not at the top of the network. That honor belongs to Saberlight at the moment.
Yeah. Saberlight doing a really good job at just understanding that he doesn't actually really need items to start out this game. Masih is one of those heroes that just does a whole lot of work with her spells innately, getting the Falcon Blade, just giving that little bit of extra minor regen, a little bit of extra damage, a little bit of extra HP, and just kind of plays extremely fast. Because I think TSM are just waiting on this kind of Crimson Guard timing. They've got the full Crimson Guard now. Dubu's got the level 6 with the Chaotic offering. Braal's getting closer and closer to that Dragon Lance. Now he's got a haste leveled up. So they're starting to hit a timing here, TSM, where I think they're going to try and take this top tier 1 tower. They're going to see if they can get themselves an early Roshan and just try and eke out some more of this extra advantage, because we've seen what Shadow Fiends can do when they start getting towards that, you know, that BKB, starting to hit towards the Daedalus, the Satanic, the Skadi, all those kind of extra items. And if they're able to get these small advantages by abusing their item timings up against Tundra, then they can really start to crack this game open, because still feels pretty 50-50. Luna's in a pretty good spot, 33 is in a pretty good spot. I think the biggest thing for me is I haven't really felt the impact of 9 just yet. So I'm really looking towards this Miranda to try and have a bit of impact coming.
I'll get over it.
Once the Aghanim Scepter is complete for the Mirana, it's going to be very, very good for adding some damage to this hero in general. It is a bit unfortunate that the way you build up this hero nowadays doesn't allow you to just like rush Maelstrom. You have to stop off for like some secondary stat item, so couldn't go headlong into Maelstrom straight into Axe, so have to prioritize Axe. So it will take a long time to get there. In the meantime, right in front of him, he has to watch his ally dying in front of his face. On the bright side, he is able to land an arrow onto Saberlight. I think that's the first arrow of the game that has landed like that, but sadly, Snake King will not be around to high-five him and congratulate him on his success.
It was more commiserations than anything else. So just this death squad with Saberlight and Moon Meander completely controlling the bottom side of the map, and Tundra, they're at least trying to get in there and try and get these D wards going, but it is such an unsafe part of the map, and that's why you can see 33 as well as Skitter are the ones that are posting themselves towards the top side of the map. That's much more safer for them to be in. Nine's got these leap charges, you know, they can throw snaking in there as well. Maybe you can float around in the trees, try and get this little bit more of the dangerous farm, but it seems like finally TSM are going to try and kick out Tundra from this top side of the map. They want to kill 33.
Oh my
Was that a triple raise combo?
It was not a triple raise. It was a double raise from Brawl, and they had the combination coming in from the sharpshooter with the bushwhack. That's where most of the damage came in from. Well, Nine, unfortunately, only has like 1,000 HP at this point in time. So if you take that much damage, instantly you won't survive it. And look what TSM is doing. They're stacking up around the Roshan pit. Like they want to go in. They've got the solitary points into the presence of the Dark Lord. And this is not going to be the fastest Rosh in the world, but it certainly won't be the slowest. With the sidekick going, a very overfarmed Saberlight, and the Unleash activation, they're actually jumping in. Winter's Curse, Snaking gets disposed into the Roshan pit despite the curse connecting. What? Okay, that was kind of weird. They know, keep the pressure going onto the Roshan. As familiar as if he wants to drop them. Not going to be able to do so though. And they will just end up taking the big man down. Aegis will drop. Oh, that makes more sense. I'm actually not very smart. It was Tomato with the hook. I was wondering, like, why was Saberlight's hands up? Then he gets stunned. The hero still moves behind him. But it's the hook. It's the hook. It's fine. Well, it's the hook from Tomato into a kill, into a Aegis pickup for the Brow Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about, right? Like, if TSM are able to kind of find one of these advantages that they're able to abuse to try and take down a Roshan, and that's when they can really start to crack open this map. And it was just a kill onto 9 there, where they're able to get a freebie on him in towards the mid lane. Nice combination between Bryle and Moon Meander. And that fight, it was just a split second between Saberlight getting Winter's Curse throughout the entirety of them and him being on the outside of the pit and it being literally mattered for naught. I feel like Saberlight probably would have gone down with both the Shadow Fiend and the punching into him, but unfortunate for Snake King there. That could have been a bit of a hero play. So now Tundra a little bit behind the 8 ball. They haven't really been able to group up just yet. We haven't seen any Echo Slams. We've only seen one Winter's Curse, but we haven't really seen Tundra come together as a 5-man when they're able to abuse this Lunar Blessing at nighttime, being able to abuse the Eclipse, and really trying to get 9 back into this game, because just haven't felt anything coming in from this Mirana. He had a relatively okay lane up against the Shadow Fiend, but Shadow Fiend's one of those heroes that's more than happy to trade farm. And now 9 is in this awkward spot where he's just constantly having to push in this top lane to see if they can get anything out of it.
Ooh, they finally catch Saberlight. Saberlight, can they actually kill him is the question. They can, but that was a lot of commitment.
Oh, the Echo?
That was a lot. Oh, Echo Slam does actually come out. Tomato is showing up with Moon Meander. They want some instant revenge down in this bottom lane. Moon Meander will assist them to get it. A monster kill streak for the Hoodwink. 8-0-4, been involved in 100% of his team's kills thus far. And although they do get a very big kill onto Saberlight, generate a lot of net worth off the back of it, regrettably, because of this instant response from TSM, they can't even play this area despite a successful fight here. And once they come back with the Marcy, you can bet that TSM are going to slowly but surely push you deeper into the side of the map yet again.
Yeah, TSM are doing a really good job at just understanding which parts of the map are going to be important for them. They took control of the bottom side of the map so they can continue pressuring out this tier 2. Once they get the rush.
Saberlight? He's actually a Dota. Just bows into the Requiem for the Fear.
That was pretty.
Saberlight, dude. Wow, that was amazing to watch.
Yeah, that was actually really pretty to watch between Bryle as well as Saberlight. The combination was far too good. Let's see if they can kill Tomato bottom, but he is a tanky boy.
And reinforcements are incoming.
Apa dul?
He didn't TP to the top lane, remember, so he can show up immediately.
Si nganu kemana anu ada?
Pudge, just standing in Pudge. Well, we're gonna be
Dia lagi mandi dia. Gue lagi nonton ini nih di SM.
Huge huge fatal bonds. Lots of damage being dealt out. Skeeter needs to watch himself, but there's no Requiem here. So their team fight is feeling a little bit lackluster from TSM. Eventually, they do manage to kill Tomato, and now they're chasing down Bryle. Bryle tries to turn, still has access to the Aegis, so that's life number 1. Jubu is trying to run back as quickly as possible. They still don't have Saberlight for this fight, so Bryle pops the BKB, but he's only interested in retreating. Winter's Curse holds him in position. Meander, can he do anything here? Nice bushwhack onto Skeeter, prevents the Luna from being able to chase further. Bryle, though, gets fissured up by Saksa, and will finally end up taking a tumble. Tundra not only managed to bring down Tomato, they get the bonus kill onto Bryle, who came to help, but turns out he was only helping the net worth of these Tundra heroes.
Yeah, and this is what I talked about in the draft, right, where Tundra are just permanently able to keep going here. If they get this kill on the Moon Meander, he's going to be worth a lot of gold. No, he's going to be okay. He's going to be able to scale into the tree line, but this is what I talked about, right? Like, there is just such little cooldowns that Tundra actually have to play around with. Yeah, the Winter Curse is probably the one they need to play around with, but we saw what Snaking was able to do there. Just get the Winter Curse out of the BKB.
Jarang tapi yang orang lain jarang kayak gitu. Dia doang.
Semuanya kali begitu pada begitu rata-rata biar damage-nya masuk.
Jarang. Kan gue lihat In New Dream. Siapa gitu? Gak dipakai cool snap-nya.
Sumia mah tangan suka coli dul.
Gue lihat Sumia cool snap dulu, tornado, baru meteor. Gue juga kayak gitu sekarang. Lebih enak.
Pukul-pukulan kayak kuat lu, abis lu combo nih. Terus lu pukul-pukulan.
Tapi gak enaknya gitu. Jadi lu gak punya cool snap lagi nanti. Kan cool snap lu langsung cooldown tuh berapa detik gitu. Jeleknya gitu sih kalau pakai cool snap duluan. Langsung cooldown 20 detik.
Otherwise, Saberlight had him dead to rights. Saberlight read the play really well. Even got off the dust.
Apa?
I'm not sure how he knew that there was a Moonlight Shadow right around him, but now down towards the tier 2 tower. Moonlight gets bursted really fast.
Nggak jadi bos lah.
They don't just take his life away. They take the tier 2 tower as well. Not done just yet, Chip.
Gas.
Tadi gue lagi nonton bos, lagi predik nih. Predik gue menang nih.
Ayo.
Kalau ditinggal hilang nggak sih bos? Hilang ya? Ya udah main turbo aja dulu.
Harus sampai kelar.
Kelar lah tuh.
Dapat apa sih?
Itu TI apa? TI point buat skin. Lu pakai battle pass juga cok. Buat yang gratisan itu mah.
Emang
kayak
iya?
Gua. Iya buat orang-orang kayak gua itu mah yang gak beli apa? Yang kayak dulu ya Nu?
Iya.
Oh yang kayak yang dapat skin LC gua ya?
Iya yang kayak gitu. Buat yang gak mampu beli battle pass.
Bukan yang gak mampu dulu, gak mau.
Lalu skin ML lu banyak juga lu dul jual no.
Ya gue udah nggak mau beli gituan, nagih lo.
Beli satu nagih ya.
Iya, kayak gue dari dulu gue gak mau bikin anjing. Pas main Dota beli 2.000, 2.000. Sejuta kali udah.
Will he try go for it? Can they find the correct
Kalau
angle?
Dota ini gua emang bisa dijual lagi gitu. Cuman gak worth it tuh. Soalnya gua kan ranknya kecil. Kalau di ML mah gua mythic, top global juga. Gak pakai skin gengsi anjir.
Emang kuningan ada yang main ML lagi tuh?
Masih rame ML mah gak ada matinya.
Top global dunia Nu.
Emang iya dul?
Hero-nya iya.
Pakai apa? Lucian?
Iya.
Berapa
Rank 50 gua.
Andai.
Banyak yang gua kalau main nih pagi-pagi yang nonton cepet.
Lu bukan nonton bikin YouTube aja dulu kalau top global mah. Gak usah pakai webcam kalau lu ini gameplay lu aja.
Itu live yang dari Mobile Legends-nya tuh.
Iya lu tembusin di YouTube lah.
Nah itu gue gak mikir ke situ, udah main-main aja gue sama temen.
Enaknya dia gampang dimainin di mana-mana sih ya, ML ya.
So getting to a point where he isn't really able to do much outside.
Temen gua juga sama tuh. Lapu-lapu. Rank 20 dia malah.
Dunia.
Iya. Anjing banyak yang nonton tuh. Banyak yang nyawer.
Nyawer, kalau nyawer dikasih apaan?
Hah?
Tapi sawer lu nggak pakai sawer ya sih.
Sawer itu diamond.
Itu dia kick dulu. Ayo turbo nih sekali.
Iya sih, mau keluar kan?
Bentar, belum. Masih.
Kita main turbo aja.
Oh, enggak. Kirain gua mau keluar dia.
Dapat apa nih gue lihat dulu.
TSM, they really thought they were going to be able to bounce back Tundra from this fight, but it turns out Tundra a little bit too strong right now, and they catch the perfect target first. Losing Tomato at the beginning of the fight, Fluke. This is not what you want to see if you're on TSM.
Yeah, he literally didn't get anything off. He got his Crimson Guard to be popped, but no bite, no hooks, no nothing. They spent so much time trying to take down Skidder that he just was able to walk around the fight a little bit. Meander kind of saving it there for TSM, getting the bushwhack, because if Bryle had to stand there and fight up against a Luna and a Visage, that would have been
Keren bos, beli bos lah.
for Bryle. Eventually does go down, but they had to expend a little bit more for them. And Tundra, man, like they're starting to fight their way back into this. They're only less than 1,000 gold behind, so the net worth is relatively even though there's a whole lot more kills going the way of TSM. But these fights are starting to get very interesting. They've got the Golem back up off cooldown now for Dubu, Saberlight, getting close to this Basher. I think once this Basher comes up, he's going to be a juggernaut in these fights once again, being able to pop that BKB, pop the Unleash, just try and stick on top of Skidder. Albeit, yes, he does get cold embrace.
Tiga,
That's kind of
siapa
like
aja
a free
main tiga?
disciple for you, right? Like he's cold embrace, he's not really doing much as long as he hasn't got the eclipse off at that point. You're okay with how that's going. So you just get the rest of the unleash and try.
Wah, salah gua.
Both these team fights, I think, are going to come down to the big team fight spells. So we've got things
Ah.
like the as well
Aman
as
gua
the
gak ada
Chaos
levelnya,
offering, as well as what
Menang
Sox is able
menang
to
satu
do on
doang
this,
gua.
Earthshaker. So we're looking towards these
Gak
kind
pernah
of
pakai
three
saman
fighters in
gua.
the next couple of team fights to alleviate a bit of pressure for them.
Ah,
Moon's been
nge-troll
doing a
dong
really
ini saman
great job
gua.
here on TSM, just staying in the background, getting these Hunters boomerangs going, but at some point, he's not going to be able to do
Pakai
that much
GS aja,
damage
pakai
with these
GS.
BKBs. And he has to be very
GS
careful with
udah
where he's
sat-sat
positioning,
aja.
because we need to try and save Tomato.
Ya ada ya hero kayak GS ya di sini ya. Siapa?
Ada.
Crimson Guard gets a bite down.
Tinker kali modelannya kayak gitu.
Iya,
Reset cooldown kan sama.
Trying to build into a BKB so they can get
Reset
Tomato
cooldown
into
skill.
that safety portion of the game.
Tinker juga sama reset cooldown
Trying
skill.
to enhance
Tapi berkali-kali
the
Tinker.
game. Okay, good hook initially. They find Sox
GS juga berkali-kali sih orang
Young
cooldownnya
Winter's
cepet.
curse committed by the Snake King. Followed up with an arrow from
Tapi si Tinker mah nggak ada cooldownnya dulu.
Tapi delaynya lama.
Iya.
Ada animasinya. Kalau GS langsung ngeblink.
Tomato just happy to have been able to get that
Langsung
hook kill.
ngeblink langsung cooldownnya hilang.
Light on the flash heap stacks, if I'm going to be completely honest on the hero. So always feels good
Kalau
just to be
Tinker
able
diem
to
di tempat,
do whatever it takes,
animasinya
even if
2
it's the
detik
odd
ya?
support
Berapa?
kill here or there. Start buttressing that up,
2
get
detik.
tankier and tankier and become the
detik
real
atau
anchor
3
point
nya.
for your team to be able to fight around. Whilst Bryle is out here just dishing out wild amounts of damage.
So Tundra, they're in a rough spot here. They get hooked, they get disposed. Could be scary for them. Still arrow though. Okay. I got spooked there for a moment snap. I saw that hook
Aman.
on the stun target. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be bad for
Cek,
Saberlight.
cek.
Then I realized
Aman,
Tomato
oi.
his team. So
Cek.
they okay
Cek.
here for TSM.
Nu ngomong nu.
Aman, oi.
Never played my pubs
Bentar
hook
ini.
because
Aman.
my own pile just hooks is what gets
Aman,
me killed
Dul.
in the middle of the team
Bukan,
fight.
bukan mic apa?
Headset.
Let's get hooked, and then you get Winter's
Headset
Curse,
gua,
and
iya.
then there's a Luna beating on
Volumenya
your face.
100.
Really not enjoying how these things are going.
Nilang
Very
mic
interested
lu,
about
Le.
Nine's build right now. He's
Hilang,
going
hilang.
for a
Hilang
blink, and then he's
support.
going into shard. So not all too bad. It's like kind of this like magic damage build that I've seen some Maranas go for, not going for this like kind of pure.
Solar core. Isso é muito errado. Galera com 2
Ini
itens
gimana
só.
begindang?
Hate it. I love when teams
Ya,
change
combo
up
dong
some
gua
of the
di
builds
bawah
to
mah.
have a mixed kind of composition when we see
Ah,
champions go for the
Venom bot
magic
lah,
damage build,
sama-sama
where they've got a
slow
heavy
tuh.
right clicker for them and
Madu.
kind of vice versa.
Dulu kalau iseng
It's
pasangin
always
warp
nice
gitu.
to see. So I like that Nine is
penuh,
understanding
jangan.
that
Mana lah?
they have a lot of physical damage
Lalu.
already. They could do with a little
Mana
bit
lah?
more of this magic
Iron
damage to
Bench
try
doang
and get through this pudge
Lalu.
earlier on. And considering they don't have a spirit vessel or anything like that to play around with, so
Repet.
problems for the enemy team, so that they don't just get to force you away from the area. They have to worry about what direction is she going.
Orangnya pendek ya sekarang.
Makes it a little bit more difficult for us.
Nu awas nu.
Let's see though how things go, because it looks like Roshan is the next port of call for both of these squads. No tier 1 towers to claim in the mid lane, no tier 2 towers to claim in the off lane. So usually that means fight around the Roshan and the big man, where everyone's corralling around. Nobody's leaving the area. However, Tundra have just picked up a pretty massive advantage here. 33 just got an AC. Fam, AC with the raid pack. They don't have a raid pack just yet on the side of TSM. So you have damage mitigation, some damage, amplification, and of course it's just going to keep these heroes so much healthier against the
Kira pro player gerakan kameranya bikin puyeng lu.
Ya tarik itu ya, tarik creep ya.
Kan gua pakai hook. Salah. Lu lagi ward lu kagak di ini. Pakai apa?
Ini mati dong. Serepet.
Aduh. Masih kena dulu babi emang.
Udah dipegangin ya.
Doesn't get the bite just yet, but does eventually manage to do so. There is buyback on Snaking. I would not be surprised to see him committed ASAP.
Aman.
Allow them to have the free Asians, but Tundra doesn't believe they have the capability of fighting here. They're going to leave TSM to their own devices, give up control of this Aegis. It's going to be an Aegis and a shard as well. Who do they give the shard to?
Gua sampai buka skill 3 sih.
His own shard yet, so please take the shot, my friend. Hey, it's Christmas out here. Aegis plus shard, feeling good. Way stronger than he was just 30 seconds ago. Now TSM. The game wasn't trending in their direction, to be honest. It was feeling a little bit complicated, but since they picked up this BKB from Tomato, it looks like they've gotten a little bit of that bravery. What is it that they were saying about like what they want? What is Moon saying to the team again about what he wants out of them by the time they get to TR?
Get the fear out of your hearts. I don't want to have any fear in your hearts by the time we get to TI, and I think TSM are starting to get towards that point. But unfortunately for Dubu, he might be seeing a shadowy figure in the shape of Saksa at the end of tonight. Or an Echo Slam.
Echo Slam from Saksa as well. Nice salvation, but it might actually die. Saberlight, last second BKB actually manages to live here. Tomato, he says, don't fear because I am here. Hooks from the safety. And Tundra, well, if you commit the Echo Slam for a BKB charge, I suppose the BKB was already down to 6 seconds anyway, so it's not that deep for the Mossy. But it just feels good to know that your team can save you in those clutch moments. And it doesn't take any skin off their back, right? They've already taken the Roshan, so there's no need to be playing on the western part of the map anyway.
Yeah, they're perfectly okay with how that did pan out there. Yes, they did lose Dubu, but end of the day, he's just, what, level 11? He's level 12 now, he's just over towards that level 2 ulti, so he'll be okay with that. He's able to respawn. Really looking to see what kind of damage they can do towards this mid-tier 2 tower. They haven't taken this tier 1 yet, so yeah, they are starting to get a lot of farm and started to cool it up. They're only 1k ahead, so it's not like they are really starting to build this massive network lead with this Aegis and be okay with it. But they definitely are trying to farm out the map here, and Thunder are doing a good job of just avoiding a lot of these fights, getting their own farm on the map, and not losing too
Ini
much
pohon ya,
control.
gua udah taruh ya.
Lagi ngapain brand sayang bener.
So I really want to see if they can get some objective damage here. Look towards this mid tier 1, take that.
Ngaruh dul, ngaruh.
Ngaruh ya kok makin lama.
Oh, they missed
He's
it.
in a little bit of danger here. Not sure how hard they want to commit on the side of TSM. He goes in for the silence of the grave, buying space and time. 4 stocks away, coming in from Tundra. They get him all the way to safety. The hook might not be as kind towards Saksa, but as this BKB expires, Tomato trying to get himself out. Saberlight though jumping in, unleashes damage onto Saksa. Saksa thought he was in a lot of trouble with the Winter's Curse, but the Hunter's Boomerang will put pay to that. And Dubu drops the rock down, but unable to save the life of Saberlight. Between the
Mati lu. Waduh.
Langga anjir itu lepas.
Gua potong pohonnya.
Look at how much damage Skeeter is taking. And he's not going to be allowed to run away from the rest of TSM. Despite activating the BKB, he has no safety in this fight, as he will go down. 3 heroes taken away. TSM can also clean up the tower now. All of a sudden, and Saberlight's very happy to commit his life there to save Tomato. This is what happens. You see, y'all, if you save a player in your games, they will return the favor and help you win a team fight as well.
Yeah, it definitely was a nice little save that came in from Saberlight. He still was able to get the kill on Asaxa, and you did see the amount of times that Tomato was able to fall back and reset, right? It started to look a little bit dicey here when Briar was copying a lot of damage that came in from Skidder, but the blink back in from Tomato, they get the bite, they dealt the damage on towards the Luna, and this Hunter's Boomerang just allows them to do so much extra damage as well. And Briar catches out 9 in towards the top side of the map as well, so not only did they get themselves a nice little team fight there with the Aegis, they got themselves a tier 1 tower, none of us should be able to get themselves a tier 2 as well, so TSM firmly in the driver's seat here now. I think they're looking towards getting themselves the dub.
They also got themselves that
Gua
bonus
pegangin
kill
dulu
onto
gak?
9, who got
Pegangin
hunted
aja
down
tuh.
through the trees. Brow happy to get the kill, happy to get the next tier 2 tower as well. The entire map just started shrinking in a rapid span of time.
Ada yang mati, bos.
Recovery plans are hard incoming. You know, you were talking earlier about like the relative lack of impact that we're feeling from this Mirana.
Dia jadi
This is
ayam
usually
lagi
the
itu.
stage of the game that we'd see 9 on some hero that's about to hit a decent enough power spike that they can
Dah,
go, like,
belok.
force a fight somewhere on the map. But it feels like with this Mirana, he sort of needs Saxa and Snaking to set up for him. They have to be the ones that go in first. He really cannot like, you can't just like blink in, it's fine, I'll leap
nggak
out to
lucu yang kayak
safety.
gini, nggak
The
lucu.
way he's been dying
Mati
so
sini
quickly
dia.
when
Oh,
he
nggak?
does get caught,
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna make him very, very worried. And Tomato back on salvation duty. Gets
kurang mana,
Lumianda
Pak?
out of trouble, says, Captain, I got you. Tomato though, rolling forward in the BKB, unable to find a target. Okay. Weird
bukan
interaction
ini.
between the dispos and the hook actually saves the life of Snaking.
Curiga ada.
The bird will still end up
Opson
getting
itu
brought
tuh.
down here, but I don't think anybody else is going to end up dying. Saberlight also blinks out. Tomatoes on the low ground. Tandra's thinking about it. Aegis just get reclaimed. Ryle, now a mortal man once again.
Aduh, langsung gue
But
lompatin dulu.
I don't know how badly they actually want to jump onto the
GG
high
langsung
ground here.
dulu.
They might have PTSD from the last disaster of
Rapat.
a fight that happened on this high ground. So that memory being fresh in their minds will give them the impetus to just get back, heal up, maybe try and take the next fight. Now
Gak ada
that you know there's
portal.
no
Bisa,
one
bisa,
with
bisa
Aegis to
anjing.
protect them.
Lodos
There's no
bocahnya.
Aegis, there's still BKBs, so they have to try and worry about here as well. The Echo Slam is huge.
Mana,
Going
mana.
into the mid lane, bro gets saved though, pushed out of it, and Saberlight yet again
Buset,
happy to
Echo
jump
Slaman
in
zaman,
and tank the
anjing.
blows for its core. Tomato coming into the fray now as well. There's raid packed on both sides, mitigating some of this damage output. Nice push right on the edge of the fight as we see the Pudge. Okay, interplay between himself and 9, but 9 just leaps onto the high ground to save himself and then get the kill onto Tomato. TSM have lost 2 cores out of the blue. Saxa started that fight. TSM did not see it coming, and Tundra, they win super quickly and not scary about this fluke. Remember, they're playing with the Luna Visage. If you lose a fight and you give them space to push, these buildings are getting knocked over in an instant.
Yeah, you can just see that they're melting through these buildings as well. Huge initiation that came in there from Sark. So he saw his opportunity, right? That's all they need to see. They just need to see this one little moment. A jump in directly onto Bryle. They force some of these big
Wah, mati
and
dong.
now they're coming in once again.
Apa itu?
Beautiful fissure drop down initially from Saxa. Coming in is Tomato with his BKB. They force out the cold embrace, but Skeeter now in trouble because he no longer has BKB. The Requiem only connects on him at the very edge of the circle. Tomato trying to hold him in position. 33 is on the high ground with his own raid pact and his familiars and his own body,
Aduh, anjing.
dissuading TSM from running headlong into the Luna. However, now that all
Silent
of the
one.
mitigation strategies are
Mau
done,
winter
they
keras
have
ya.
nothing to fear anymore. Beautiful
Walau
push right
semua
coming
itu
in
ya
from
3.
Captain Moon. Will be able to catch and kill Skeeter. They lose nobody in the process. More importantly than that, they don't even lose the melee racks. And now that they've gotten these kills, they've gotten this fight, TSM was shaky, but they still demonstrate that they're in charge of
Anak
this
anjing
game.
kayak nakan di
Yeah,
atas.
they
Bro.
are. They still have to use a buyback on Tomatoes, so these next couple of
Yeah,
fights are going to be scary.
Aduh, nggak dapet
no
anjing.
way. How does he find that? Just on
I feel
the
like
edge
the
of the
Saberlight guy's pretty
dispose.
good at Dota.
Pakai Octarin nggak sih, Dul?
Let's see. All
Apa?
3 charges were used. Yeah, they won't catch him. Right.
Enggak lah.
Biar
Yeah, just having
jauh.
that Tinker Ward up on the high
Oh,
ground was
bebas.
literally, I think, like 0.2 of a second.
Biar
for
panjang.
that TP as well there for 9. So He's gonna be a little
Kirain mau
mad that
Aganim itu.
he lost his TP there, but he's gonna be able to come out on top. At least the BKB got used once again.
Biar baunya
But both these two
luas.
teams
Bau-
are team
bau
fighting
ini.
extremely well.
Bau
Like
bangke.
the Luna is starting to have some issues.
Bangke
She doesn't
beneran.
have the BKB at the rate just because of how strong these bushwhacks have been.
Eh,
And
itu
even
Rosan
the
dapet tuh.
Aghanim shard that comes in from the
Aduh,
Shadowfin
menit.
as well, those fears, every time these auto attacks go out for a while, can start to actually do a lot of work, because even though it's a small fear, it still is able to kind of put you in those small positions where for half a second you don't have control of your hero, right? And that's when it can really start to throw out of whack some of the timings that Tundra want to play around. At least now 33 has this Aghanim Scepter, so he has the Sana's Grave. He's able to kind of try and find a little bit of these pickoffs. Tomato's starting to get to this point where he's getting scary as well. He's gone back for the AC, not going towards the Aghanim Scepter, understanding that they need to try and match the buffs that are coming in here from Tundra, because if they're still at the disadvantage of things like the AC and the Wraith Pack, then it really starts getting hard for them. Now the fight's going to break out though.
Pusat larinya penduduk
Luna
juga.
tanks quite a bit of damage from the initial sharpshooter from Moon, who was using it as a scout tool.
Ini ya.
Vision from Saxa. This is kind of interesting. It broke up where Brawl and Tomato were standing. This is exactly where the job came in last time from
Lah.
Saxa.
Dah.
Gun
They are aware
Island
of this
lah
on the
dia.
side of
Itu apaan
FTX.
tuh?
TSM do not want to let it happen again. The primary objective, though, is control of Roshan. The big man
Control
will
of
be
Roshan.
more or less, and when he does,
Aduh,
that's an
temen-temen.
Aegis, that's a cheese,
Tulis Island
that's a young
anjing.
refresher. And usually that has been the death knell for the teams that end up getting it, or they end up giving it away. So this next fight, which way does it go, Fluke? Because both of these teams, as you were mentioning, right, there's some very entertaining items coming up, but more importantly, some level timings are coming. 20s plus are being broached, so we're getting some quite powerful talents. Who has the advantage in the next fight, and as this game continues to scale longer and longer?
Longer.
I would start to lean towards Tundra really starting to come out on top on some of these team fights. I think the Luna can do a lot, and Nine's really starting to come into his own here on the Marana as well.
Aghanim
Being that
berarti
level
tuh.
20 talent now has the extra 35 damage. Moonlight Shadow gives 20% of evasion as well for that 15 talent, so he can do a lot of work at being able to kite around and really trying to alleviate a bit of the pressure for their Luna, especially if they're able to make it so Braille wastes his 6-second BKB. So I'm really starting to lean towards Tundra here, even though they are a little bit behind. I feel like they just have that little bit of extra kind of tools to play around with as well. You know, the Silence, the Grave is going to be really, really useful for them. They've got the Winter's Curse, if it's able to hit big, and the Echo Slam. We've seen what Sarks has been able to do in the past at TIs, and I mean, I think right now he's starting to feel like that TI form is coming up, but TSM, they also have their own kind of damage, right? If
Aduh,
Sablelight's
creepnya
able
ngalangin
to
ya.
get in towards the backline, it's going to be oh
Ya
so hard for
Allah,
Tundra to try and heal for any of their supports, because he sidekicks himself and unleashes. He just does so much damage in such a short amount of
Kena
time
emang.
that it's going to be very, very hard for Tundra to try and keep these fights going. But if they have the fights on their own kind of terms
Buset, sakit
and,
banget.
and fighting front to back, then they're going to be perfectly okay with how
Aduh,
things are
tahun
going.
gua.
So Sableye chilling with the ninja gear. This Warlock has a telescope, so he can sit a bit further back. The
Brengsek ya.
intriguing thing was the win odds that we
Aduh,
just
dia
saw come up.
RP gua.
Although TSM FTX have a
Baru
5k
mau
net worth
dia,
lead,
iya.
although they are enjoying an
Rata,
experience lead
dude.
as well. According to Gaben, Tundra not only have 73, but also have an upswell in a possibility of winning. You have a big catch out to
Mati lagi
Tomato
itu.
here. Hasn't been able to cast the Flesh Heap or BKB, so
Why
he's
is
lost a lot of
that?
HP. Finally gets off the BKB, but Sableye, he's gone into the river, trying to chase down
Pakai
these
lah,
supports,
anjing.
force them away from the rest of the fight. Brian is
Oh,
out.
huge
It's a
Winters.
huge Winter's Curse. It's going to catch onto the Saberlight Marcy, forcing Brian to right-click him into
Lotus,
oblivion. TSM FTX do not want to fight without Saberlight.
Dum-dum
They will
bacot
back
nih,
off.
Dul.
Unfortunately, though, that is going to give
Dum-dum
up on
bacot.
Aegis. I think they realize that they're trying to come back. What options do they have here? Can they buy space and time? Saberlight can buy back into this one, but Dubu has already committed the chaotic offering, so can't drop it again. This is
Yeah.
going to be hard here, Fluke. There's the buyback. They realize that they don't want to give this one up. Tomato might attempt a cheeky little hook from the edge of the Roshan pit or the edge of the cliff.
Tundra
They
getting
need to
scared.
be wary about this on the side of Tundra. Yeah, they're punking. Dude, they're actually giving. They can't do this. This Roach is too low. They have to fight here. Brown's
this
inside the
smoke
pit
wrap.
right now. Brown is going BKB. He's getting the fear out to
Goblok
ensure he
yang
gets the
asli itu.
Aegis. He got the Aegis, the cheese, and the
Waduh,
refresher.
mati dong dia
As we
harusnya.
end up losing
Like, look,
33
look,
right side of the base. That's a gem that's being dropped down. But look at Skeeter losing so much HP. Gets saved by the E-Blade that came in.
Wah,
from the Echo.
gila, sakit
Finds
banget
the
ya.
2-Euro Echo Slam. Brings down Saberlight. to force a dieback out of the Masih, take away the first life of the Shadow Fiend, and potentially set up for the second one. However, Tomato running interference, blinks in front of him, and just bursts down Skeeter with the assistance of Bryle. TSM FTX. It's an expensive fight to be sure here, Fluke. It requires a buyback out of Masih. It requires giving up the life of the Shadow Fiend the first time around. But my goodness, it was not effective at the end of the day in terms of denying
Gua hack
Tundra.
dulu ya harusnya ya.
Yeah, I think TSM just had some steely nerve. They understood that they can go in there, they can get it really fast. They take down Saxa once again. I think this game is really starting to get hard here. Saxa's not around for another 70 seconds. It was a sick little Echo Sam that came in from him as well, but it was already the first life they're able to take down Bryle. TSM, they're in a really good spot here, and it just came off the back of no fear, right? They just walked in towards the Roach Pit. They said, are they going to come fight us? What do they have to do? They had to make a decision in a few seconds, and TSM were the ones that were making the decisions. They were the ones that were setting the tempo, and unfortunately Tundra weren't able to get the response that they had hoped, and now TSM are knocking on their front door.
I mean, they set that one up 4v5, but like you say, they ran without fear. They made their decision very proactively. What's the counter response here from Tundra? They find the Winter's Curse, but this time around they're prepared for it. Tomato, the only one caught out. Nobody else really gets affected by it. They've gotten the melee racks. They're about to pick up the range as well, and they're gonna get the escape just as these heroes respawn, making out like bandits, man. This feels so good. Tomato and the crew have taken the first lane of racks. They have a 13k gold lead, and officially, for the first time in many minutes, we are back to 50-50 win probability. Anything can still happen. It's only one lane of racks. It's what, 40-something minutes into the game? One lane doesn't really matter. So it really does come down to what happens with the second lane of racks.
Kena dulu satu dulu. Kena dulu.
Trying to think about what the plan is going to be. But TSM are trying to run.
Kena malah metong, bos.
Apa?
Kena metong.
Timing though,
Metong,
24 seconds
malah lari
until
ke
the Winter's
sana
Curse is
aja.
back up. So
Penoknya
surely
malah
TSM feel like
farming
that there
aja
is this small window that they can try and come in here. They did get the scan out onto the Luna. They know at least somebody is up here in the triangle. They want to try and blow somebody up. They want to try and catch them off guard. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Feeling like the Tundra are going to have this time out, but it's going to go on 33. Oh my god.
You said they went on 33. What 33, man? 33 is not top anymore. Gets hooked back into Tomato right now. He too just been removed from play. Visage not gonna fare much better with how quickly he got blown up. Snake King also gets taken down. Only two of them have buyback. 33 has no access to it whatsoever. Looks like TSM FTX. You were talking about having no fear, being proactive, making the decisions, and they've done so again, and that's gonna lead them to be able to push onto the high ground for the second time almost in as many minutes. Tier 3 tower will fall quite quickly. Can they stop this? Tundra do not want to buy back on Skeeters. They're gonna let this lane of racks go, Fluke.
Gila pro player ya, refleksnya kacau banget ya, bos.
About it yourself if you were in the same situation?
Yeah, I think they kind of have to at this point. They're gonna see if they can.
Gokil, bos, anjing dari nge-push nih, matanya ke-push nih ke tower. Ngepliknya ke orang cepet banget loh.
I feel like as long as there is mega creeps right now, Tundra are going to be okay with this. As we said, they can kind of just win a team fight and push down a lot of these buildings as well. So this is where they have to make their last stand here. 20 seconds. Okay, now they're buyback. Oh, it just feels awkward.
That pain and suffering. FTX, TSM definitely were trying to force that. They were like, well, if he's not buying back, we're going to force him to awkwardly buy back. And they're going to the fake back as well. Man, what fear is available within TSM FTX at the moment? Gonna try get through the mid lane. Skeeter.
Mati.
Far forward. He doesn't know that they're
Duar, gokil anjing.
Even though they found the young Winter's Curse, not gonna be good enough.
Buset.
Echo Slam will be good enough.
Wah, Eko selamat zamannya gokil juga loh.
Saxa yet again showing heroics for his squad. It's a
MVP sih Eko selamat zaman.
TSM as well, but he's immediately back into the fray. He ports in with these boots of travel, and now they know for a fact there will be no Luna, there will be no Winter's Curse, there will be no Echo Slam, and that means very shortly there will be no lane of racks in this bottom lane.
Yeah, TSM playing with complete unadulterated fear right now. They're just getting in the faces of Tundra. They take down Saxa once again, stuck in towards the trees. Heroic Echo Slam would have been what they needed. Saxa and a Rax here snare. They're going to get this and going to be able to get out.
They're gonna try to though. Arrow will connect, but Tomato with the salvation onto the Shadow Fiend yet again. This Aghanim shot, man, has just been so good. Snakehead will end up losing his life. 33, you did your best, but unfortunately, the strength of TSM at this point doesn't allow that best to be enough. They've taken the Mega Creeps. They're gonna try and end the game before the Lunar Visage return. Brawl still at full HP, blinks forward onto 9, raises him down. He's forced immediately back into the fountain. Good guy Saksa blocking off the sharpshooter hit, otherwise 9 might have died inside the fountain. But unfortunately, it might still not be enough. Saberlight also trying to do the same. He's gonna tank the arrow in favor of Brawl. Yo, these bodyguard plays coming in from TSM FTX. Really, really fun to watch. Homies help homies. And when the homies help each other, victory is possible. Saksa, one more Hail Mary fissure. He's gonna get hooked back into Tomato though. The rod is out, the damage is out. Brawl.
Oke, korek 2 bos.
So GG is called. TSM FTX take an exhilarating game 1 victory here in the group stages. Heartbreaking for Tundra.
Mau mati tuh situ anjing. Dul, mati lu Dul.
Aduh.
Ya, dia udah
Pakai BKB lagi mau gua bengket.
Bangkit naon dul.
Ada BKB nih, tapi aing enggak ada ulti.
Bangkit teh naon dul.
Gue bingung Venomnya mau kayak gimana nih, sama Aquariannya mau kayak gimana.
Venom sih, kalau Venom War mah udah musuh gak ada yang bisa ngeblink. Nipo.
Bikin taras dulu kali, taras ya.
Taras 17.
Taras biar tebel.
Gokil. Mana sekarang mau lihat Dendi nih. Mana si Dendi nih?
Baca bos, mana bos?
Gua BKB ya?
Lu apa dul? Aquadren?
Bukan apa? Samang.
Mencoba dia.
Cincopa.
Samang nggak? Saman nggak pernah pakai saman gua, ini masih level 0 samannya.
Tadi habis di winter padahal lu nggak mati-mati ya bos ya?
Nggak ada tuh. Namanya datang anjing, apalagi punya bayangan. Sini ini ambil outpost lah anjing. Kagak apa-ngapain anjing main.
Iya, kagak objektif ya.
Gak jelas tuh, bukan ada nggak objektif.
OLS. Tang lu dia.
Tuh, butuh teman nih.
Dia takut kan?
Nih ente kadang-kadang nih ente. Buset. Kocok-kocok dulu.
Habis mana aing?
Dia mau misi penyelamatan.
Anjing udah keren padahal itu gua ikat snipernya tuh. Mau ikat gak ada habis aja mana aing. 2 kali blink gua anjir pakai repressor. Winter sniper.
Narik manja dulu.
Tapi telat, winternya keburu ulti. Telat lagi anjing, winternya keburu ulti ya tadi.
Ada yang narik aing.
Ih, saman lu ada rambutnya dul.
Iya, tahu skin apaan gratisan.
Wadah, keluar semua ininya sniper anjing.
Aquardennya udah mau war, ternyata dia rajin push. Mia ini Mia.
Anjing ngeret banget aku wardennya.
Ngatur propet mah ya jangan red lo. Ini lo yang carry utama ya bos ya. You're not going anywhere.
Bikin BM gue bikin BM tuh. Bangsat emang tuh si peranjing free hit. BKB nggak dia nggak mati, auto mati dia.
Ini Venomnya kayak bot anjing. Punya silver edge lu dia lu.
Mati gak ya solo kill? Gua yang mati yang ada.
Dia nggak bikin inian apa? Ya Allah.
Dan ini apa sih?
Apa? Ular aja sakit.
Oh, apa ini ah?
Ih, Venomnya nggak jelas amat ini ngapain dia kawannya? Ji, tadi yang mau nyeruduk Venom yang kena si Nganu anjing.
Enggak, guanya masuk emang.
Iya.
Gue pengen. Baca tinggal jalan doang anjing. Susahnya sih tinggal kesini tuh lu begini-begini. Idiot dah.
Pencong dah dia.
Dyer's bottom tower is being chipped away.
Ngatain bos pakyu gitu bos.
Dyer's bottom tower is fallen.
Gua ambil lah, mau gua bener.
Dia merosan bos.
Iya, gua ambil anjing.
Dinai aja bos, kalau nggak dinai bos.
Mana? Gua ambil. Ngapain lu cuma ikut mati doang lu bangsat.
Si Nganu put G-nya anak kecil ya?
Titiknya gede bos.
Tadi gua nonton put G anak kecil soalnya.
Gua ngebling belakangan ah. Sayang refresher gak kepake nanti. Skip lagi lah, lagi aganimnya, Oi, oi.
Kena nih sniper nih.
Aduh, gua gak naruh sentry, sorry.
Sniper, nggak bisa apa-apain kan lu anjing.
Wah, gua dikena itu dong. Kena Magnus
Balik
anjir.
Aduh, nggak bisa balik tuh anjing. Anjing nggak pernah ikut war lu nih si anak monyet nih. Sumpah no gaweannya tembus kagak lu. Harus BM ini. Mau mati tuh dia mati anjing. Tembus kagak, nodul barak dulu aduh. Oke, Wigo pernah mati anjing temen lu.
Apa katanya bos?
Oke, Wigo. Itu kagak dijadiin anjing Black Knight. Paling jago dulu. Tadi aja lu lihat ya dia lompat diam aja di situ anjing nggak kemana-mana.
Cincopa.
Cincopa.
Gua keslebeu ya sama Magnus.
Lah ngapain? Lah musuhnya dikasih biar ngehitnya cepet anjing.
Dia kalau
Pakai
bisa,
udah hex.
dia kalau bisa ngedum temen itu bos.
Gue pengen ngehook di alang. Makan lu nih, makan tuh BM gua anjing. Makan tuh BM gua anjing.
Cracks in Dire's top tower?
Aganim.
Ya Allah nih gerobak nalangin gua aja anjing.
Sniper mati ya, gua kira. Bangsat Magnusnya BKB, Aganim lagi usah ngomong.
Si Nganu lucu didorong-dorong anjing ditembak ini sambil mundur-mundur. Di headshot ya bos.
Cing copa.
Asli,
bayangan. Tembakin gua terus, ayo terus tembakin gua, mau mati no anak anjing. Mati. Tembakin gua mau mati lah.
Help! Gua lebay 2 orang.
Lawan dulu.
Gara-gara Magnus
Lagi,
dia mati.
bangsat.
Sniper no buyback.
Cing copa.
Mati juga tuh sniper. Dibantuin Magnus gua. Dideketin.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Kau susah ya ngejar dia ya anjing.
Radiant structures are
Ih, buyback ah.
fortified.
Buyback end lah.
Radiant's middle tower
En.
could use some help.
Nari,
Radiant's
winter
middle
aja dulu.
tower has fallen. Dire's top
Cing
tower
copa.
is under attack.
Gua pengen beli Ghost Captor bener.
Dire fortified their structure.
Mana sih Ghost Captor?
Ada itu ada tuh. Ya,
Udah
ada.
ada.
Udah bos.
Udah, Bos.
Radiant's
Cing copa.
Gas.
Gas lah, mesti gue selesai nih.
Gila Saman 0
Gue
level
dapet apa
0.
ini anjing? Woi, gue dapet skinnya sinian.
Wih, dapat chat wheel
Apa
gua.
dong? Woi, gue ke level 50, Bos.
Udah dapat 50.
Iya. Emoticon unlock. Ini apa nih yang apa nih? Level up. Oh, kalau naik level ada. Buka apa aja anjing tuh tadi?
Lu dapat apa bos? Ininya kata-katanya bos. Catul.
Belum, itu 55.
Anjing masih jauh bos perjalanan.
Enggak. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55 itu catul semua. Dikit lagi lah. Saya misi.
Jangan yang ini, yang enak mah yang ini bos nih, yang rempek-rempekan nih. 54 tuh bos.
Iya itu di situ. Ini makanya saya ya ini.
Yang bagus sih itu cuy. El combo wombo perfecto.
Tadi gue pakai Mars kalah ya.
Alah.
Ya babi pantesan
Enggak,
misi
gua
gua agak
nge-troll.
selesai.
Gue juga
Capek gue jadi ini anjing.
offline. Lu jadi carry aja bos, gue mid lane mau pakai
Jadi
itu
carry aja.
ngatur. Ntar lu gue relock. Gue
Lu
relock. nih.
support dul.
Dulu ini aja offline dulu. Ntar gue relock bentar.
Support.
Minggu
Enggak,
ke-7
gua
udah
kesel.
kebuka. Minggu ke-7 udah kebuka ya?
Udah.
Kesel tuh nih, sentry dia borong.
Tapi nggak dipakai.
Terus dia ke mid tuh. Gua suruh put sentry, gua pingin tuh ting. Dia lagi di mid, lagi bersihin minion. Creep. Udah bersih creepnya, balik ke jungle. Anjing gak ditaro kata gua. Terus gua minta taro tuh. Pas LC ngilang tuh, mau ke hutan naik, taro gak ditaro anjing.
Tapi gue kayaknya offline dulu bos.
Ya udah. Misi ya.
Strength hero win to game as a strength hero upon 20 go straight to the enemy ward.
Waduh.
Itu gua beli gem tuh itu karena sentrinya habis sama dia.
Dikantongin sama dia tapi nggak dipasang.
Tapi carry aja dah nggak apa-apa bos.
Ya udah
gem
carry.
aja.
Cok lo mas. Lu support
Beli
tuh.
gas. Iya.
Lo offline nggak mau maju lu anjing.
Oh, udah biarin santo, ada atur propet.
Cing copa.
Aduh salah kembali.
Gua supportnya support jihad dah. Apa ya support jihad?
Ticis.
Tecis.
Susah, lambat inisiasinya.
Gimana?
kata
I'm
siapa
going.
Tecis sekarang beda dulu. Buset,
Ya.
lu.
I'm going.
Udah ada e-blade juga lu. Nyari musuh.
Dari mana duitnya support? Gua kalau main
nge-stuck.
Oh.
Stuck buat lu sendiri.
I'm going. Gue patah-patah bos, ntar udah. Update nih gue nih. Cancel dulu bos, cancel bos.
Banyak kata dulunya dulu ya.
Update, sabar ya. Oh, dan ini pause nih.
Oh nggak pakai ini dulu. Inisiasi ya, support yang inisiasi gede, Enigma dulu.
Ih kenapa ya ini? Kok jadi patah-patah bos?
Nggak tahu bos. Ya, saya juga nggak tahu kok tanya.
Oh relock lagi. Restart PC coba ya.